My name is Fawnda, and I'm from the Blackfoot Nation in southern Alberta. And I come from a long line of a very matriarchal system, including chiefs that were hereditary. And it was beautiful growing up on the land when I was younger, from a baby to 9 years old, and just roaming the land and being able to play with all my cousins and pick berries and also go for medicines and search for sage and then sweetgrass as well, and pick it and then be able to braid it and to incorporate it in our ceremonies that we would have throughout the year. I just wanted to share a little bit of our Blackfoot prayer and to bless the time here together, and I will just begin. Ayo istabatobiyam ispumoginan gimadoginan ni nonix ni distinonix nationonix uki gumodinan gonadoginan idistogona ni stoi. All my relations. I come from the Blood Reserve located in southern Alberta, and we speak Blackfoot, so that was just what I shared with you, which is the Blackfoot prayer. And we are basically spoken this before we went to residential schools and before contact. However, because those schools were mandated by the government through law, and if you did not attend, you would be thrown into jail, and then the potlatch and powwows were all outlawed. So if you participated, you would also be fined or you would go to jail. So it was the process of what the government wanted to do in order to assimilate First Nations people into what they considered mainstream society. And where we come from is it's still survived, and that's not just my nation, that's many nations across Turtle Island, across Canada and the US. And just being able to reclaim that language, it's still within our blood and our DNA, and it's something that my grandmother had the privilege of teaching at UBC and trying to work on an alphabet to learn it phonetically in order to speak it and then write it and create your own system or your own sentences. So I love that we're able to reclaim that. And then powwow also originated in the prairies. So the chicken dance on the men's side, that actually comes from the Blackfoot people. That's where it started. And then it's, evolved as it's gone through the years and decades. So there's fancy, and so what I'll be dancing today is fancy. And what that means is just you're competing with the drum and you're like trying to go as fast as you can. Traditionally, we never wore shawls at the beginning, and then it evolved into a shawl. And it's you need to be in shape to do all of these dances, especially fancy, as you need to have good cardio, you need to have strong legs and arms in order to lift up your shawl. And then you're just graceful and you float around on the floor like a butterfly, is what people describe it as. So I'll also be doing Jingle. So Jingle is a healing dance, and I have just learned about the roots recently about that dance. And that one I never started out doing right away. I learned that one as a young adult, and then I learned what Jingle was and how the jingles represent healing. And then every jingle you usually put 300 in, for every day of the year. But mine only have 200 because it's a little bit lighter, and just style wise. Also depends on what kind of applique you want to add. It's very personal to you. So since I come from the prairies, I like horses, I like colorful colors. Yours could be whatever color you want it to be, or it can reflect your interest or personality. Then the third dance I'll be doing is traditional, and that one's also newer to me, but that's just where it all started. Women would wear buckskin dresses, and then they would they started creating footwork with it. Then they started creating dresses that were more like beaded on top, so they had like the it's like a tea dress, so it's very represented their crest sometimes, or where they came from, and it's very poised and it's super elegant, so elegant, yeah. So those are the three dances I'll be representing today.